Welcome to my Beginner Wig Bootcamp series. This is going to be a series of episodes that are designed to target women who are looking to buy a wig, yet you don't know where to start. And if wigs intimidate you, I am going to keep it super simple and break it down for you. The goal of this series is to give you enough confidence to number one, buy a wig, number two, wear a wig, and number three, learn how to style it and take care of it in the long term, and also just some general things that you should know about wig wearing. In case you're wondering as to why I have the accreditations to be able to talk about this, it's because I've been wearing wigs for over a year and I have successfully taught a ton of girls in how to wear a wig, what to look for when buying a wig, and so I want to communicate this to the masses. Synthetic hair, human hair, closure, frontal, hand-tied, glueless. What does all the terminology mean? So let's talk about the 5 main types of wigs and what it all means. Kicking things off with the first one of synthetic versus human hair. I primarily wear human hair wigs. I like wearing human hair wigs better. With that, human hair is going to be more expensive than synthetic hair. When it comes to synthetic wigs, there are different types of synthetic wigs. There's like non-heat resistant, there's heat resistant that can typically go up to like 340, 360 degrees. And then of course there is fully human hair wigs that can be made from a variety of different types of human hair. There's also human hair wigs that can be mixed with synthetic hair. So these are things to keep in mind when you are doing wig shopping online. You also might come across the terminology of frontal versus closure. What does that mean? To talk about frontal versus closure, let's break down the inside of this particular wig. This wig is made up of 2 main parts. Number one, it has wefts that are sewn into the back of the cap, and that consists of, I would say, 60% of the cap that you see here. You can see the weft lines and the grids that are going along the back. It also has this front part up top, and this is what we call a lace front wig. This lace piece that you see here has individual hairs that are actually knotted into each of these teeny tiny little lace holes. This is what we call ventilation, by the way. When we are talking about a closure, we're talking about the width of the lace from ear to ear and also how deep the lace goes. So you might see common closure widths as like a 5x5, a 6x4. This basically refers to how much lace you have. The more lace you have here, the more flexibility you have to change the parting, because you're not able to change the parting where you see these wefts here. You can only do it in the lace part that you have here. I personally wear all closure wigs because I go glueless, and so this makes it easier for me to throw on and off, and you don't have to worry about installing your wig. Although I will say I have on my list for 2026 to learn how to actually do a full wig installation. And of course, I learned a ton of stuff from the Black girls on TikTok and YouTube. Shout out, I love you guys. So anytime you see the word frontal, that means that you're gonna have to install it and glue it in yourself, which is just a very complicated process, and I would not recommend for a beginner. Stick to a glueless wig, which is a great segue to my next point of glueless versus glue down wigs. I wear glueless wigs. Sometimes I will secure my wigs in the front with a little lace melting spray. Again, this will be an episode for later, but for the most part, the only thing that I use to secure my wigs is a wig grip band. We'll do another episode on this, but this is what I mean when I say I wear a wig grip band. This is basically a piece of, I think it's velvet, and it has a rough side and a smooth side. And all I do to secure my wigs is I will throw this on, ensuring that the lace part is in the front, and this is a little dirty, I need to wash it and clean it. And I'll slide it back on my head to my hairline. You want the rough direction to be going back, and this is gonna prevent your wig from sliding around at all. And then all I do is I throw my wig on exactly like this. And again, we'll do another episode on this, but this is all that I do to secure my wigs 90% of the time to actually wear them on a day-to-day basis. And as you can see, this wig is not going anywhere. Again, all that is held is my wig grip band. The last type of wig I want to talk about is hand-tied. These wefts that you see in the back of this cap are typically going to be sewn in by a sewing machine. And then these individual little hairs that you see tied into the top of this lace here, this is actually sewn in individually by what we call a ventilating needle. That is the ventilating process. So anytime you hear the words 100% hand-tied wig, this entire cap will be individually sewn in. This is considered a lace front wig because number one, it has lace in the front and it has the wefts in the back. All of my wigs are lace front wigs that have the lace front component here and the wefts in the back. This provides me a good amount of durability with the wefts being able to hold up to a lot of like the daily wear and tear, but also having the naturalness of the lace front by having these individual hairs tied in, again, allowing for a natural hairline. This concludes the first episode of our Beginner Wig Bootcamp series. Episode 2 is going to be density and hair types. What does it all mean? Drop your questions on episode 1 in the comments, and feel free to follow along for more wig tips and tricks.